Okay, welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about what is I-Agg. To understand what I-Agg is, you're going to have to have a deeper understanding of two words that you've probably heard before but don't really know what they are. And that is vlogging and blogging. Now, I-Agg is hundreds of times easier and hundreds of times more profitable than blogging and blogging. Mainly because, well, not mainly, one of the reasons that it's far easier is because I'm actually creating a complete system so that it is easier. And the reason is because of COVID. For the last year, I've been teaching people how to work from home for 2 decades now. But since COVID started, I have people that are absolutely desperate in need of ways to make money from home. Billions of people are at home, not able to work because what they did before is closed. And their government isn't paying them. And the ones that are paying very little, it isn't adequate. So people are desperate. So I've been working on the system the entire time, trying to create something that is completely easy, something that literally anybody with access to the internet can do, even if you have to go to a library. To be honest with you, which you couldn't do with blogging and blogging. You literally can't go to the library and do blogging and blogging. So literally, you could be homeless and do I-Agg, okay? And you can't do that with vlogging and blogging, okay? Vlogging is the most expensive to do. As you listen to these videos, you will see that the sound quality is terrible. Why? Because I'm not a blogger. Okay, and I have no desire to be a blogger. And so, but if you're a vlogger, then you need to have expensive equipment to record. You have to have a special place where you record in many cases. And you have to spend hours editing the videos, splicing it together, literally hours and hours a day. And it literally takes far longer to edit the video than it does to actually make it. So, but what I'm doing is sort of this gift to humanity. So if you don't like the video's sound quality, don't listen to it. It does no skin off my back. So, but you can't do that if you're a blogger, can you? Or, a blogger, you can't do that. You know, if your sound quality isn't good, then you have to fix that, or people aren't going to listen to your stuff because the competition sounds better, okay? But because it's really just entertainment, okay? So some of the things that you need to have a deeper understanding is what is blogging and blogging, okay? So blogging and blogging is television and radio and print for the internet. That's what it is, okay? A lot of people don't understand. They think that the news is, it's reporting what's going on in the world, like people are talking about, it's fake news, it's fake news. News has always been fake. News has always been fake, okay? They're like, oh, that's just clickbait. It's always just been clickbait, okay? It's just nobody was there to be able to tell you that, okay? And so you just assumed it was true because everybody told you that it was true, and the vast majority of people believe what is true, and then the vast majority of people believe what the vast majority of people believe. It's just like this cycle. But the reality is television, radio, news, whether it's print or on television, it's all about advertising. It's all about advertising. Okay, now, in the real world, there are some things that aren't about advertising, like farming isn't about advertising, and that kind of thing. But for the most part, like nearly everything online is about advertising. It didn't used to be. It wasn't created for that. But I think about 1998, some elite people decided, hey, let's go take over that world. And, you had companies like Google and Google was probably the first because they're the ones that introduced internet advertising. Before that, there was no internet advertising. And they basically turned it into it. And I read a study that was like 68 or 72% of people online visit no more than 10 websites. So what does that mean? It means that the vast majority of people don't have a clue as to how to use the internet. And I could prove that to you even more than that if you don't believe me. I like proving things to people. So let's go to here and let's look at the highest search term. So this is, I'm going to refresh this so you know that this is an actual live screen. This is search from Google. And it says, number 3, most searched keyword, most searched thing on Google. Number 3 is Google. Google. Okay? So, actually, that's even more ridiculous. Apparently, why does it say YouTube? Google just keeps getting stupider and stupider every year. YouTube, top 100 Google most searched terms globally. That's not even a sentence. But anyways, so this is the top 100 searched things on Google. Okay, this is the first result. Okay, and if Google, it's the first result after an ad. That's an ad. First result. So this is. If Google is real, I'm not saying that it is, but I know the vast majority of people believe that it is. This is a fact, okay? If it is, okay. So that means, and I've watched people do this. I've been training people how to work from home for 2 decades, and I've actually watched people do this. I go to Google, and I'm watching their screen, and they literally go to Google. And then they type Google in, just like you can see here, 580.7 million people a day, I'm guessing, do this, okay? And here we've got YouTube, this is YouTube, or Facebook, okay, 1.2 billion. That means the vast majority of their users don't even know how to find their website without Google. So if Zuckerberg is ever wondering, or if somebody's ever wondering, getting, too big of a head about how great you are, just know that without Google, most of your clients wouldn't even be able to find your website. And this is proof of it right here, okay? So this is what they're putting in. And if you go through this site, you'll actually see, like where it's literally like Facebook.com, like they're literally putting the web address into Google. So the vast majority of people don't know how to use the internet. Okay. But the reality is there are those people, millions of people around the world who vlog or blog, and that's creating content for the internet. And while you are led to believe that the big thing is YouTube channels, and there are some YouTube channels, okay, I'm not going to disregard that, but like as far as blogs and blogs, you're not really making money from having, in the ways that people think that you do, okay? So how much money can you make, this is another important thing, how much money can you make as a vlogger or a blogger? Okay, these are the top highest earning bloggers. Okay, this is again probably the first result after ad. So that's an ad. And then we go to, this is the very top. This is the very first result. Okay, and again, it's a blog. ChristyHill.com is a blog. She's #1 in Google. Okay, so, and it's funny how she's not the top blogger. So she has a blog. She's #1 in Google. She's the top, but she's not the top blogger. That's really interesting. She's not even on the list. So let's see if we go expand this out. Because that really is fascinating. The crap out of me. Gizmo HuffPost, founded by Ariana Huffington. And look how much 140. Anyways, so the whole idea of blogging and blogging is creating content so that advertisers have a place to put their ads. And Google is a advertising aggregate. Okay, so go back to this. I-Agg. Okay. I-Agg stands for aggregate. Internet aggregate. Okay? So what is an I-Agg doing? Here. Let's go look at what an aggregate is. So, see, this is one of the reasons that I would never be a blogger, is because you So we can see it right here. First definition, a whole formed by combining several separate elements. So basically, if I have a website and I use aggregate and I've aggregated it, it means I'm taking information from a bunch of different sources, putting it together to make a website. That's what aggregate means, okay? Google is an advertising aggregate. What do? That means they go out to all of these different ad companies. They're basically the place where people go to if they need to advertise on this. They're not the only one, but they're the biggest one. And many of the companies that have advertising are actually pulling their ads from, using AdMob and Google Ads and that, which is all the same company. So they're aggregating advertising. So I-Agg deals with blogging and blogging. It deals with aggregating information so that you have a place to put advertising. Okay? And that's what blogging and blogging is. Now, I-Agg pays hundreds of times more than blogging and blogging, and it is hundreds of times easier. Okay? One of the reasons that it's easier partly has to do with me, and that's because I'm literally making it easier. I'm like making a cookie cutter type thing. Okay? To where literally anyone can do it. You could do it without the cookie cutter things that I'm making, but it would just be harder, and most people wouldn't do it because it's a little bit harder. But you still could do it. But I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know to be able to do this, no matter what country you're in. As long as you can get access to the internet, whether it's the library using their computers or whatever it is. I mean, if you have a computer, you could go to a cafe, you know what I'm saying, and hook up to the internet that way. So like I said, anybody can do this, and it's far more lucrative. It's far less expensive to actually do. It takes literally no expertise whatsoever, and you're going to learn that throughout this series on I-Agg. And but like I said, the reasons that this is easier, I will show you as we